Yo, 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 yo. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta do this one. This is Anton Daniels' channel and his crew. This is the late night crew, the midnight show, the late show that Anton does. And he has one of my favorite people, Slimmy. And I want y'all to check out what Slimmy, his response to Jasmine Crockett. And we're gonna talk about her. But I think Jasmine Crockett is ghetto. I think she's stupid as hell. I don't understand any of the people that's following her. I don't even know how the hell she got elected. But anyway, that's what the people chose. But Jasmine Crockett is in the Senate talking crazy, in my opinion, about oppression. But anyway, check this out.
Jasmine Crockett. Now, some of us may know Jasmine Crockett from being Kamala Harris's chief supporter. We may also know her from being a part of the AKAs and being one of Kamala Harris's chief supporters. But Jasmine Crockett decided today that she wanted to go off on white men. And this was her.
Oh, shit, I've seen this bitch.
This
She
is
went
her
on white
stance.
women, that's all.
This is what she said.
Yep. Okay, Ms. Crockett.
So many of you know that I practice law, but some of you don't realize that I actually was a business major out of Rhodes College in Memphis, Tennessee. And the emphasis that I got in my business degree was on finance. And as I traveled the country campaigning this election cycle, one of the things that I talked about was this idea that in finance, we always promote this idea of diversity. If you know anything about a portfolio, the one thing that you want to do is make sure that it's as diverse as possible, because at times certain stocks will perform better than others, and they will exemplify various strengths and weaknesses. And together, a diverse portfolio is usually what any good finance person would promote. They wouldn't promote that you solely invest in vanilla wafers, believing that that is going to be the strongest portfolio, but instead they might want to add some chocolate cake and some Twinkies into the mix to make sure that we have the best portfolio, because there will be different preferences by different people, and again, there will be different strengths. But as I sit here and I think about what we say and what I'm hearing as it relates to diversity when it comes to anything outside of making money, and to be clear, we are losing GDP every time we try to push back on this idea of diversity, because all of us bring something different to the table. But you consistently said over and over the word oppression, and every time that you said it, it was almost as if I was hearing nails on a chalkboard, because it seems like you don't understand the definition of oppression, and I'd ask you to just refer to Google to help you out. Oppression is the prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control. That is the definition of oppression. And so as I sit here as a black woman who practiced civil rights, let me tell you, the reason that my colleagues wanted to make sure you understood the same black history that your side of the aisle wants to delete out of classrooms is because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country.
I got a question for you. What is she talking about? Is she 40 years old? I don't know. I don't think so. But she's saying she's practicing civil rights. What are you talking about, Jasmine? Practicing civil rights. We were born American. We all that civil rights stuff. What for what? What are you talking about? We all got the same rights, and there's no separation in America. What do you mean? You fighting for civil rights? You fighting for something that you already have? This is crazy. I want y'all to listen. Look at Slimmy and look at his face. Slimmy is completely. He's already exasperated. He feels like the same way I do. This is bull. Even when I even see this woman, I already know it's bullshit. She crazy. All she do is when she open her mouth, nothing but bullshit come out. Flies, garbage. Right? I need to put her on the back of the MAGA garbage truck. But anyway, check Slimmy out in the bottom right-hand corner. Watch this.
You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work. We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives.
What is she talking about? I wasn't dragged out of my house, and I damn sure didn't come across no ocean. I don't even like water. I'm musty right now.
That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We're not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you, that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed, that y'all are the ones that are being harmed.
That's why white America does not understand this conversation at all, because they don't have, whoever the hell she's talking about, none of those people even exist today. They don't even exist. So you think I'm going to be having a conversation with one of my brothers because they white and talking to them about how they oppressed me because my ancestors were in slavery? And from what I understand, a lot of people, Kanye West, I remember Kanye West said that. He said slavery was a choice. And a lot of people walked off the plantation and went on about their business, went up north and started farming and doing all kind of stuff. So we got to check into that, right? But anyway, check this out.
That's not the definition of oppression. You tell me the prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment that you've had, and we can have a conversation.
You can start with Exodus.
The final thing that I will say on this particular issue.
I cracked up at that part too, but I'm gonna play the rest of it. Because I want to get the full context of what she's saying.
Two things. There is an article from The Guardian, and it is a little old. It's from 2021, so I apologize. But it said that back then, just 3 years ago, white men represent 30% of the population, but 62% of office holders. These are the issues that we are constantly looking at and recognizing and trying to say, is this just? I can't even tell you how many white men have served in this chamber, but I can tell you that I am only the 55th black woman to be elected to Congress. And so when you want to talk about history and pretend as if it was so long ago, it wasn't. Because again, I am just number 55. Finally, when we start to talk about what do these numbers do, as we're trying to say that diversity, equity, and inclusion is the problem, the reality is that when it comes to financial performance, companies with more diverse workforces are more...
You get the point. So, question is, as Jasmine Crockett goes off on white men, two questions. Number one, is it racist for a person of color to speak like this? And then number two, is there a case to be made for diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I'll let y'all go because I got a lot to say. I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot to say about this.
Do your thing, Slimmy. Go ahead.
She's 1,000% wrong. For one, to say that you got dragged over from another continent is absurd. You didn't get dragged from anywhere. You were born in fucking America. So you can't use that. You gotta just throw that shit out. You can't talk about something that happened 300 years ago and it's a story that you were told. That ain't even necessarily accurate. You don't even know if that's accurate. You just going with what they told you, which I don't even believe is accurate. It don't even make sense. The shit don't add up, but that's neither here nor there. But you can't go by what the past is because now you're living in an America where everybody is oppressed by the government. So yes, white men are oppressed. Black people are oppressed. Everybody's oppressed by the government.
Check this out, Slim. I'm about to break it down.
Because it's always some shit getting taken out our fucking checks called taxes.
That's a fact.
Flat the fuck out.
That's a fact.
Everybody. You gotta pay that shit no matter what. You gotta pay these motherfuckers back to do shit with your money that you might not even give a fuck about.
Yep.
I consider that oppression. I don't know what most people do. But I don't want my money going to no LGBTQ hubs when I go straight up the motherfucking street. And that's what I gotta fucking see. So yeah, I'm oppressed. And it's people that think like me, they're oppressed too. Because I don't want my money going for that. But it does. I don't want my money going to no drug centers because motherfuckers got caught up on opioids all of a sudden. It wasn't no drug centers for crack addicts. But now it's drug centers for opioids. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Now, if you want to put some homes together for the homeless, which they refuse to do, using our tax money to do that, they don't do that though.
Optimum's Black Friday deal is here. It's our best offer of the year. Get 1 gig internet for $30 a month.
They don't use our tax money for that. We gotta get people together actually to do that shit in the community. They don't use tax money for that shit though. Period. But what they do use tax money for is these motherfucking immigrants. These motherfuckers is getting what? 20,000? What was they saying? What was that receipt that lady had? $20,000?
Yeah. So who are the Democratic Party? Who are they taking care of? They're not taking care of black people. They taking care of the immigrants. They bringing them in. And y'all fighting and voting for that shit and getting mad because those of us with good sense have woken up and seeing through it and y'all mad? I'm talking to the 75% of the American population that's still straight ass Democrat no matter what. Vote blue no matter who. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to your blue ass. You stupid, misinformed, and are Both.
$20,000? What? How much of my check is going to that? How much of the pre-taxes and the taxes is going to that?
Do you know there's a lot of people in America right now, including some of my homeboys and some of my classmates, that don't even know what Slimmy just said? They don't even believe it. And they just 2 clicks away from finding out anything they want to know. Because all you got to do is go to YouTube, type in the subject, whatever you want to talk about, and I guarantee you videos from both sides, from the left and the right, will start popping up. And you can start clicking on them. Most of them are 5 to 8 minutes, so it don't take a whole lot of time, right? By the time you sit up and listen to ABC on a news broadcast, which lasts, 30 minutes? You could have watched 3 or 4, 5 videos, clips on the same thing, including the news broadcast that you're presently watching, because it's on YouTube as well. But why not watch another clip that has a different spin on what you're talking about? That's how you study and find out that a lot of these people are lying, because you can watch the news and you can watch other people talking about the same thing, and you can get a lot more information. People, y'all need to stop sitting up watching CNN and then calling me dumb and calling me out my name. That shit done played out. You need to bring your dumb ass, uneducated, uninformed ass up to 2024. And you do that by going to YouTube and listening to people and channels like this one, Anton Daniels. Anyway, let's wrap this up. But Slimmy about to bust her ass up.
Fuck that. I don't want that shit coming out of my check, man. So yeah, everybody's fucking oppressed. I don't agree with nothing that she's saying. Nothing. And yeah, she being very racist, because you can't say we all sitting in this country together and nobody's oppressed with black people. You can't be serious about that. Everybody got problems. Every group of people.
Yep.
Period.
Everybody.
Ain't no exceptions to the rule. What happened in yesteryear, we can't control that. We cannot. We can't. Why are we still focused on that shit? It's billionaires, it's black billionaires. What are we talking about? Why the fuck do they put their money together? They ain't never put their money together to do shit. Except keep on perpetrating the same fucking philosophies and the same fucking ideologies as the motherfuckers that got all the money. So we can't complain, because the motherfuckers that look like us that got the money, they still keep doing the same shit. So what you complaining about? Get your motherfucking money and keep your house in order, man. That's as simple as it get. Because we all oppressed.
Anybody want to follow up after Slimmy? I would like to. Mika, go ahead. Give me something.
I mean, she kept saying the history. Okay, so if we're going to talk about history, there were Native Americans that were slaves. There were white people that were slaves, because they did the same thing. They emptied a jail from England and other places, right? I'm trying to figure out what does all that have to do with what's going on right now? Like, she's talking about right now. She's like, I'm the 55th black congresswoman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You have a better argument about women than you would about race. I don't know. Like, I don't understand her argument at all. Like, what does that have to do with right now? Like, I'm not understanding her argument.
Carrie, I think you want to make a case for diversity, equity, and inclusion. You look like you want to make a case for it. I could tell Carrie like.
Well, no, I'm over these conversations. She triggered me when she said something about you haven't been, what'd she say, dragged, or she referenced the treatment that our ancestors received that I'm sure she never received.
Exactly.
And I'm kind of tired of hearing us use our ancestors' stories to justify or do whatever they're attempting to do by bringing it up. But last time,
Yeah, in my opinion, she's using our ancestors' stories to justify our simplistic bullshit that we do today. And that, ladies and gentlemen, to me is the utmost disrespect for what our people went through. And I believe if those people were here today, they would not be responding and acting like the Black America does today. Black America is very disrespectful. Not all, not everybody, but a lot of people today are very, very disrespectful. Some of the people that's in the Facebook talking shit to me are in my son's generation. And I know your parents. And if I was standing next to your daddy and you was talking to me, the way some of y'all talking to me on Facebook, your own daddy would slap the cowboy shit out of your ass because he would not let you be disrespectful like that on no level, no matter how you feel. You still don't have no business disrespecting an OG. Let's wrap this up.
my check, none of us had to deal with any of it physically. So that first part that just knocked me out. But she mentioned the school stuff, and I thought about that. I was like, how do I feel about the notion of removing some of the history out of school? Because I don't know if she's focused on the school part or the DEI part or both. But
I've never heard anyone say talk about removing Black history except the people on the left, the people that lie all the time. They say that all the time. But I've never heard any conservatives talk about that. I have seen where people are concerned about a lot of the stuff that's in the books because the LGBTQPRST, they are slipping a lot of books in the library trying to promote pedophilia and all this other stuff on the left. Now, that is a problem, and we got to stop that mess. But I don't have, who the hell is trying to erase history, erase Black history? Who's trying to do that? Ain't nobody trying to do that. These people say it all the time, but they lying. But what we really need to be doing is protect the children. The children need to know Black history. I don't think educators are trying to take that out, but they are. What they're trying to do is they slick. They trying to, in my opinion, they trying to slide that pedophilia bullshit in. That's what they doing, and they calling it critical race theory.
I personally think that it's okay that some of this what is going on in my picture? I personally think it's okay to remove a lot of this stuff because look at the energy that it conjures up. Like, it seems like when we go over our history, we just get so upset, and rightfully so to a degree, but it's stifling. I think we're at a point now where it has just stifled our progression, period. And I don't think that our ancestors who actually went through it would want us to utilize their struggle and pain in the way that we have used it.
See, I just said that.
I think they would want us to have utilized it in a way that builds strength and builds forward movement.
See what I'm talking about? Straight thinking, smart people think alike.
And being productive. And all of what she's doing, Tamika's point, I'm not clear on what is she advocating for by bringing all of this up. It sounds like she's just angry at what he said. And I looked it up. He said something about DEI oppresses white men. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
So the idea of it is that diversity, equity, and inclusion, and this is what a lot of white people are saying, actually removes opportunity from white people, and they use white people as an example, but it removes opportunity from whoever it is that's most qualified for the job. And instead it gives it discriminates against whoever it is that's supposed to have the job for somebody that may not be as qualified in the name of diversity.
Yep.
Yeah, see, one of my late mentors who passed, well, obviously he passed. He was big on my company is not a black owned company. Like I own a company and I happen to be black.
Yeah.
And he said I don't look for black candidates to be a part of the team. I look for the best.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be Black American
Cool.
and you're the best, well, that's good. But I'm looking for who's best. And I just think that mentality is so much more fruitful and so much more progressive than.
Of course it is. Black people that anybody, first of all, anyone that has sense enough to start a business, they don't think about they maybe some people, because it's exceptions to everything, but most people with good sense, they don't care nothing about no color. They don't care nothing about that. And if you have a business and you need to hire people, you're looking for the best. It doesn't matter what color they are, right? Now, some people, their culture, right? But then you have to adjust to the culture of that business. Businesses have their own culture, some of them, right? Some of them, you're not gonna sit up in there with no orange and green hair, sitting up in their business they not gonna do that. Everybody has a different culture when you own a business. And if you want to work there, you have to be aware of that. And if that's not, maybe that's not the business place you need to work at. Start your own business. But for the notion, some of these people on the Democratic side are trying to push business people in. People have started their own businesses and going through the struggles and doing whatever they got to do. And then here comes some bullshit where you got to hire this lady because she's black and she's a woman. But she don't know what the hell she doing. No, that does not make sense. I'm sick of that DEI shit too. It does not make sense. And this young lady right here just said a mouthful. It takes away from the opportunity of the person that was best qualified. And that person deserves the opportunity as well. Everybody deserves an opportunity. But can't nobody give it to you because of the color of your skin. That, ladies and gentlemen, is bullshit.
And hire me because I'm black and because of what we used to go through. The history component is weird too, because when you think about it, people's argument sounds like they're trying to erase our history. Well, if our history is so important, where should you learn it? You should learn it at home.
Facts.
Schools weren't even created for kids to come and learn about themselves. They were created for people to go into the workforce. So if you really go back to the purpose of school, it's not for you to come and learn history. It's for you to learn how to do something.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's one of my favorite crews right there. That is Anton Daniels' midnight session that he has. Y'all can look for that on TikTok, and I appreciate that. And I guess we said enough on this one. But anyway, I'm Big Al, UncleCoon, and we just dropped another one. Like, share, and subscribe, and by all means, leave us a comment. Catch you on the next one.
Real deal. UncleCoon in the house, dropping knowledge, stay true, no room for doubt. From debates to celebs, we cover it all. Tune in, hit subscribe, you don't wanna miss the call. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Politics, pop culture, and everything between. Big Al's got the scoop, you know what I mean. From Harris to Trump, we break it down. Common sense talk, the best show around. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Jab, show some love, support the grind. Big Al's on the rise, one of a kind. UncleCoon podcast, the place to be for real talk, real folks, and real TV. Real gal, UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride.